The fighting game community has completely imploded over the past few days. There have been a lot of different things going on with companies and individuals. A lot of different accusations have been made against people in the fighting game community. But we're going to focus on the situation with Evo and Joey Mr. Wizard Cooler in this video. But I do know there has been a lot of situations, and especially the situation regarding Senpai, who used to go by Cinnamon, and Puppet, who has come forward accusing her of having a sexual relationship with him when she was 24 and he was 14. Now, there is some video evidence to back that up along with his statements, but through all of this, especially the situation with Mr. Wizard, we are seeing the collapse of a long-standing, previously respected organization, and I honestly don't know if Evo will be able to come back from this. Mr. Wizard may be just one person, but this situation has completely killed off Evo for this year and possibly years to come. So, Evo Online has been cancelled following allegations of sexual misconduct against its president. Capcom, NetherRealms, Bandai Namco, and high-profile players, including Sonic Fox, have all withdrawn from the tournament. In the wake of allegations of sexual misconduct against Evo co-founder and president Joey Mr. Wizard Cooler, the fighting games tournament's next event has been cancelled, and he has been removed from his position. So if you don't know who he is, Mr. Wizard was the person who started the core values slogan in the fighting game community a couple years back. You had sexy girls up on stage at Evo jiggling their breasts for a Dead or Alive advertisement, and he said that them doing that didn't reflect Evo or the fighting game's core values, so hashtag core values. The allegations about Cooler were made this morning in a post shared by longtime fighting game player Mikey Pham, who made both general and specific claims, including one that took place when he was a minor, and I do want to note that he was saying this happened almost 20 years ago. I am not going to read through the whole post, but I do want to read specific parts of the allegations, which I feel are the most important, because this is a pretty long post, but it will be linked in the pinned comment if you want to read it all for yourself. So, let's take a step back from here. I was born in '83. I was the baby of this friend group. Everyone was like 5 to 10 years older than me, and I looked up to every single one of them. And I would try to join in and be part of the boys' talk about sex and women and all of that. It wasn't hazing, but a lot of the older boys' club would often have us do stupid shit for a laugh. And they'd give us tokens or buy us food if we'd be willing to do whatever stupid thing it was. Most of it was genuinely harmless, like screaming something dumb really loud, shit along those lines. Mr. Wizard was especially into this. He would pay people hundreds of tokens to do things like take off their clothes and jump into the water hazard pools for certain amounts of time. 99% of the time, it was young boys. There is only a singular instance I know of where it wasn't a young boy, and that singular instance, she was allowed to do it in the future in whatever clothes she liked, and only for a few seconds. But for all of the boys, out of recollection 12 to 16, it was like 10 to 15 minutes. We had to be in our underwear, under the reasoning that it would be colder, and there were always challenges at the time, so we couldn't prepare changes of clothes, towels, or anything like that. We were teenagers with no money, and 100 to 200 tokens, $20 to $40 worth of tokens, was a lot. So almost all of us did it without a second thought. Jump in a pool for 10 minutes for $40? Hell yeah. We never really thought of it in a predatory way. From here, though, I have to jump into a side story to jump into the context of this. At SHGL, the male bathroom had one stall, and directly next to the stall was a urinal. Someone drilled a peephole into the stall so that while sitting in the stall, they could see people using the urinal, and workers found it and put a screw into the hole. During a group conversation, late August or early September of 2001, someone asked about the screw, and one of the workers explained that. In the group, someone made a joke about how it's mostly Asian people, even if you were gay. Why would you want to look at a bunch of tiny penises? And me, being who I am, who love to research into things that are common myths and ideas, said that that's not true. Asians on average are as big as other races when erect. The average male penis is 5 1/4 inches when erect. Again, if you knew me back then, this is 100% on brand for me to say, even though I was only 17. So Wizard took a stab by saying, "So you're saying you're average?" And I proclaimed back, "I'm above average." Wizard said, "I bet you're not. I bet you $20 that you're not." So the bet was made. He later made stipulations that he'd have to see it in person, and then he does go on to say that he bought a bunch of pornography to bring back to SHGL, went into the bathroom stall while he waited outside of the bathroom stall for me to call him in. It wasn't an easy task to get erect, and when I did, I took out the ruler, unlocked the stall door, and he says that he did show Mr. Wizard his penis, and Mr. Wizard gave him $20 to see his penis. So those are the main accusations, is that he very regularly, it sounds like, asked younger boys to jump into the pool for like $20 to $40 worth of tokens for the arcade, and he also paid this man to see his penis, like to measure his penis for $20. Fam is the only source of the allegations so far, though 2011 Evo champ Jay Vincent Snyder said in a now deleted tweet that Fam had related the story to him at some point in the past. I'm not sure why he deleted his tweet. He has not made any other tweets since that one that he deleted. Little bit suspicious, but he might just not want to be a part of it right now. Evo moved quickly to address the allegations, saying in a tweet that Kuehler had been placed on administrative leave pending a third-party investigation. But despite that, several hours after the allegations were made, multi-time Evo champion Sonic Fox announced that they were dropping out of the tournament. So it sounds like Evo really wanted to damage control as quickly as possible, because Evo was supposed to start on July 4th. Which at the time of recording this is tomorrow. They were supposed to start doing their month-long worth of events. So they were trying to damage control so that companies wouldn't back out last minute, but unfortunately for them, it did not work out that way. Sonic Fox was the first to drop out. Also, I won't be participating at any longer in Evo events. And then several dozen other players and casters followed Sonic Fox's lead by pulling out of the tournament, esports commentator Rod Breslow said on Twitter. Capcom, NetherRealm, and Bandai Namco all confirmed separately that they were withdrawing as well. Companies wanted to stay as far away from this as they could, even though Evo did respond pretty quickly, saying that they were going to get an investigation done, and he had been put on administrative leave. The Evo brand as a whole right now is completely damaged. Their reputation is completely damaged, so these companies want to stay as far away as possible. Capcom was the first company to come out and announce that they were dropping their support this year. In light of the recent accusations of misconduct made against Evo organizer Joey Kuehler, Capcom will no longer be participating in Evo 2020. Out of respect for those who have been affected and to the current investigation, we felt this was the appropriate course of action, and we apologize to the players and fans who were looking forward to these tournaments. Then you had NetherRealm. We stand in solidarity for those who have spoken out against abuse. We will be pulling Mortal Kombat 11 from EVO Online. And then you had Bandai Namco Esports make a post saying Bandai Namco Entertainment America Incorporated has decided to end our participation in EVO 2020 in response to recent abuse allegations. We stand in solidarity with the individuals who have spoken out against abuse within the fighting game community, and thank our fans for their continued support. So as you can see, they all acted very quickly. They all said the generalized same statement because they don't want to be affiliated with EVO right now. The article continues, though, with faced with collapsing support. Organizers pulled the plug on the entire tournament, which was to be held over a month-long series of online events beginning on July 4th. So, these accusations had come out 3 days before Evo 2020 was supposed to be held online. And keep in mind, they already had a lot of problems due to the coronavirus. They had to cancel their physical tournaments, their physical event, and put it to online only. And now they're not doing it at all. And then they later announced that they were completely cutting ties with Mr. Wizard. But after all of these companies had come out and made their statements saying that they did not want to be affiliated with Evo, Mr. Wizard had actually made a statement on the situation, which doesn't make him look any more innocent and does not make him look any more good in the eyes of the public. He said, "I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. I was young and reckless and did things I am not proud of. I have been growing and maturing over the past 20 years, but that does not excuse anything. All I have been trying to do is become a better person. And once again, I'm truly sorry." So after he had made this statement, Evo had actually come out and they had said that they were completely cutting ties with him. Effective immediately, Joey Kuehler will no longer be involved with Evo in any capacity. We are currently working towards his complete separation from the company and have relieved him of all of his responsibilities. Going forward, Tony Cannon will act as CEO. Progress does not happen overnight or without the bravery of those who speak up against misconduct and injustice. We are shocked and saddened by these events, but we are listening and committed to making changes every single day that will be necessary in making Evo a better model for the stronger, safer culture we all seek. Now, this isn't really a case of cancel culture. He apologized for doing these things, and he is not openly denying them. He can't be left in a position of power after all of the things that he's done, especially when he's part of a company that deals with esports personalities and players of all ages. Just removing him as CEO, though, isn't going to be enough. Any type of ownership he has in Evo needs to change hands. If he is attached in any way possible, I do not think that Evo will survive. These companies have pulled out their support, and I doubt that they will come back to the event years down the line unless he's completely out of the company. I know that they said they are planning for a complete separation, but we really don't know if that's going to happen or when that is going to happen. Even if they separate from him and he is completely gone, can Evo even survive after that? I'm not sure. Many professional players have distanced themselves already, and I suppose only time will tell, but that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. The fighting game community has completely imploded. Evo Online is canceled for this year following these allegations. It will be interesting to see if companies make any further statements, if Evo makes any statements, if any community members make any statements, if Mr. Wizard will make one more statement. But I mean, he did make the tweet, which he kind of apologized for things that he's done in the past. But that is all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Were you excited for Evo Online, or did this really ruin Evo for you? If you enjoyed this video and found it informative and important, please make sure to give it a like, and of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, and I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.